And welcome to the No Show Sportscast first pitch, face-off, kickoff, tip-off. I'm Matt Klein. Mondays and Fridays, we've got Super Wildcard weekend here for you. Just recapping it up as the Lions have taken down the Los Angeles Rams Sunday Night Football, and we've got all of the matchups coming to you. We're going to be recapping it as we have just been blessed with some little bit of lopsidedness, some underdogs, some close games, some unexpected weather conditions as well. But of course, we've also been able to enjoy quite a bit of football, and we're going to get a little bit more on Monday as well because the Steelers and the Bills game is postponed. So, starting it all off, we've got to begin with the most unbelievable game that we saw, which was definitely the Rams and the Lions. I'd say it was probably the most predictable. We thought we were going to get a good game. I started this week. I was looking forward to this matchup in particular, the Stafford Goff revenge spot. So I was looking forward to this, thinking that it was going to be the one that we were going to be able to enjoy. I didn't have a whole lot of high hopes for Cleveland and the Texans game. Even though I knew that was going to be a good one, I figured it was going to be pretty close. I didn't really know. Both teams are unpredictable. You know, Stroud and the Texans haven't been to the playoffs, so we don't know how much experience they're going to be able to show us with how they play on the field. And then Flacco, unpredictable, of course, because he's just gunslinging it everywhere. And he ended up with 2 interceptions, and just it looked awful. We'll get into that. And then you got the Frozen Bowl with Kansas City and Miami. And then you've got one of the most unexpected, disappointing games from a franchise you can imagine. So maybe there's not a whole lot to choose from. I still would say that we have been blessed. We have been able to enjoy quite a bit because there was entertainment everywhere. There was a lot of aspects to it. Perhaps it could have been a little bit better, a little bit different, of course. Maybe if the Dolphins and the Cowboys played each other again, because I would still like to watch that Fraud Bowl one more time. We got it about a month ago. The Dolphins and the Cowboys played each other, but that still wasn't a great quotient of success because the Dolphins narrowly got away with it. They were at home. It was a very odd situation because now here the Cowboys are. They had been a team that was always winning on home field. I'm jumping all over the place. Let's just wind this back. I'm thinking it through, recapping the weekend in my head, and this is just so much. It's unbelievable, the Cowboys and the Dolphins, the way that their season has been coming to an end. I think that's the biggest takeaway thus far, as well as the Eagles, which I'm expecting to go into Tampa Bay and lose. No A.J. Brown, and they've just been looking awful. I think Jalen Hurts is his last name. I think there's some nominative determinism there for you. He is doing what his last name suggests, or he is in that sphere. He is in that whatever it is. He's in a funk. The whole team's in a funk. So, beginning with Cleveland, of course, and Houston, not a huge surprise there. I mean, maybe, I don't know, like C.J. Stroud is just unbelievable. This guy is going to be in the league for the next 20 years if he doesn't have a serious injury. And he's been turning Nico Collins into Calvin Johnson. And that defense, Will Anderson looked like, hey, I wanted to go first overall, okay? Bryce Young is not looking, I don't even know where he is. This trade is looking even better for Chicago, and Houston's thanking them, of course, for that. For Carolina for doing all this so that they could get Stroud, they could get Anderson, all as well. Cleveland, I don't even know where to begin with Cleveland. I mean, my goodness, Njoku was doing all that he could, looking like prime Gronk. You had Cooper, who I thought was injured after one of those plays. He went out of bounds, and then I was like, oh, man, is this guy coming back? But just not much going on at all, and those 2 pick sixes pretty much sealed it for him. Very much similar to what Green Bay was able to do against Dak. And Flacco turned into that. Flacco turned into it. Dak was watching his tape. But Flacco shouldn't be the one leading by example here because we all know how Dak plays in the playoffs. So, after that, we go to Kansas City. We go to the Frozen Bowl where it's -7 Fahrenheit, which is about -22 Celsius. But they were saying that it felt like -27 Fahrenheit. I don't even know what that is in Celsius. That's probably -35 or 40. I don't even know. But what we get is we get a game where Tua turns into everything that Tyreek said he wasn't going to be. Why did you leave Kansas City? Why did you go to Miami? That's what I want to know. Honestly. Like, what are you expecting now going forward? That this is going to be different? That there's going to be more success? I understand you're going to have a better defense than you were able to put onto the field on Saturday. But still, what happened to the Dolphins, going from the team that I think the Broncos would have played better against Kansas City, because the Broncos know how to play in anywhere that isn't a beach. But the Dolphins, all they know to do is jump up in the waves and then go back down and then jump up again. Jalen Waddle, I don't know if he is an excellent wide receiver. I just know that the system is not good. Maybe that's what it is. It's the offense. Because I was appalled by the play calling that McDaniel was doing. Waddle is probably an excellent receiver. He could be Tyreek on another team because he was him before Tyreek came to Miami. But there were way too many plays where Tua was slinging it. Basically zero displacement. He was rifling them to Mostert and to A-Chain, and they couldn't catch the ball. Just hand the ball over. I saw way too many throws on 3rd and 1. I don't know why it is so easy for me to watch TV and think this is what they need to do, or else they're going to look like fools. And Miami turned into that. They succumbed to it. If only this happened in Miami, it could be just as much of a defeat that the Cowboys had to go through. Because what the Dolphins did was they appeared to have the best offense all season. And they finish with 7 points. Hill gets his obligatory touchdown on a big play. That's all they get in one play. That's it. A-Chain can't move. Mostert can't move. It's minus a gazillion over there. And the Chiefs did not look phased at all. Mahomes was like, I can do this. I know how to do this. I've been doing this for a long time. And I know how good I am. I don't have to make headlines, okay? I don't have to be in the public eye, okay? I'm just quietly going about my business. And not to mention how the way Mahomes and the Chiefs play in the playoffs, you should almost expect the Chiefs to not care about the regular season. That's what you should do. You should say, okay, they're just gonna find a way to make the playoffs. The AFC West is a joke. We're just gonna figure it out and turn it on. We can turn it on in January and February, because as long as we've got home field for at least one game, we're gonna get the momentum that we need. Maybe we're gonna take a break in week 17. Maybe we get the bye week. Maybe. Last year, they had a easy entrance into the Super Bowl. All they had to do was play Jacksonville and then Cincinnati. And then, boom, they were in, played the Eagles. Voila. So, the Chiefs know what they're doing. And I don't think the regular season should matter to them, because it's the exact opposite with the Cowboys. It's the exact opposite, okay? Where was Deron Bland? Where was Micah Parsons? I understand he got a few holding calls, and he needed those, because Green Bay's O-line wasn't as spectacular as it was. I feel like it was just Jones, once he was able to get out of there and break a lot of lateral plays, he was able to get through. Because what was it? What was missing for the Cowboys to allow Green Bay to play this well, especially just how the season had gone up until this point for Dallas? Because there was nothing that would suggest that Dallas would be doing this in the playoffs, because it was just another regular game. It was against Green Bay. Green Bay is not established. They have a lot of young guys. Jordan Love is an exceptional quarterback, or at least he's becoming that. I mean, if he lays an egg in their next game against San Francisco, then I have a feeling it's going to look like, okay, this guy maybe every now and then he plays like prime Aaron Rodgers. But unfortunately, it's just how it went. It's really too bad, because I was cheering for Green Bay. I thought that it would have been a lost cause. The biggest spread going into the game into this weekend went in the favor of the Cowboys. I believe it was like 10-point favorites, and Green Bay obliterates them. All these extra touchdowns by Jake Ferguson, looking like prime Gronk as well. Man, we got a lot of prime Gronks around here this weekend. Hey, oof, what happened here? But none of it mattered. None of those garbage time touchdowns mattered. They just didn't. It was completely frivolous, useless. Green Bay just wasn't even playing. After they were up 41-17, 16, whatever it was, there's 5 minutes left, and Dak is helping us because he's throwing interceptions left, right, and center. And Tony Pollard can't run. And we're going to make Michael Gallup beat us, okay? We're going to make sure that CeeDee Lamb only has 5 yards a catch. We're gonna find ways, okay? I am Matt LaFleur. I'm going to outcoach this guy because I believe in our group of guys here. And Jones came out and balled. Romeo Doubs. Unbelievable, this guy. Huge plays by Love. I couldn't believe the way he was just slinging it. He would look so comfortable. He really didn't have a whole lot of pressure, I felt. It was so bizarre to see that defense just crumble when they had been so good. Compare this to the game against the Giants back in week 1, which I feel like it was yesterday. That was a Sunday night game. I can't even believe that. That game, the contrast that we're now having to witness, because Dallas just looked like the Giants. I mean, how does this happen when you're so consistent all the time, especially at home? It's just unbelievable. You know, Dak was helping them out. The defense, I don't think Dan Quinn's going anywhere. I think Mike McCarthy has had too many opportunities, and maybe as the play caller, I don't know. I mean, I'm more furious with Mike McDaniel than Mike McCarthy, to be honest. If I could pick between the two, I'm just more furious with McDaniel with the play calling. But I still think that Miami was at a huge disadvantage, and Dallas was not. Dallas was primed and ready to go. They had all avenues to beat Green Bay, and they couldn't. Don't know how this kind of thing happens, but it did. It sure did. What a shame, Mike. What a shame. So, last game, Detroit Lions are hosting the Rams. Matthew Stafford coming back. And what a performance, my goodness. Puka Nacua. This guy is going to go top 6 or top 5 in NFL fantasy drafts next year. Let's get that straight. Let's sort that out, okay? This dude, the way that he breaks tackles, I've never seen anything like it. This guy is just running, hauling his butt up and down the field all night long against the Lions. Somehow. I don't know how. But the Lions' defense was not as spectacular. I'm pretty sure that, if they play the Eagles or Tampa, I'm pretty sure if they played Philly, that would probably be the better game. But it would be in Detroit again. So it doesn't matter. You know, Goff is sticking. He's staying put, okay? Dan Campbell's staying put. St. Brown, Gibbs, Montgomery, Laporta, the whole shebang. All those guys, C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Cam Sutton, they are all chilling. To wait and see whichever fortunate fellows have to crawl into their arena, into Ford Field next weekend. So, but other than that, I mean, my goodness, what an interesting performance, especially in that second half. I mean, I didn't really feel like the Rams were going to beat Detroit. I was just kind of felt like the Rams were kind of missing that connection, like it was all going to be on Stafford's shoulders, and it ended up being. I mean, he threw over 360 yards, for crying out loud. It ended up all being on his shoulders. And to score 3 touchdowns like that straight off the gate for the Lions and their possessions, they were just rumbling and stumbling and firing on all cylinders down there. So congratulations to Detroit. You know, it's definitely been a long time coming. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, I mean, yeah, it sucks that, you know, an NFC rival. It doesn't really matter. I don't have any stock in this. I don't. It's not something that I'm going to attach myself to a whole lot. So it's fine. You know, it's whatever. I get it. So we've got Steelers and the Bills Monday night. Well, Monday afternoon, more or less. Monday night if you're in the East Coast. And then we've got Tampa Bay and Philly. I mean, my goodness. I really hope Tampa wins. I'm going to be cheering for them Oh, my goodness. Baker Mayfield. Please do something amazing. Do something spectacular. And Steelers, they're in the same situation that Green Bay is in as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I mean, they're probably gonna put up a fight. I have a lot more faith in Jordan Love than I do in Mason Rudolph. That's going to be the biggest difference there. Because I like every single aspect of Green Bay. You could say, and it is surprising. Maybe the Bills were the better favorites because it just appears that way. It just appears like a Steelers without TJ Watt team is just doomed from the start because that is what you should expect. Because there's no way. Like, this guy is the biggest difference maker, and you have no TJ Watt. You have no defense. Okay? Highsmith can't do it all on his own. Cam Hayward can't do it all on his own. Minka's going to have to go out there and ball. Hold Stephon Diggs to however he had been playing all season because he really had been playing pretty poorly all season, but I just don't see that happening. I'm pretty sure Josh Allen is not going to have any trouble with them. Maybe they score. I mean, I don't think they're going to score anything more than, I don't know. We're going to see a lot of Chris Boswell. Let's just put it that way. We're going to see a lot of Chrissy. But a beginning, shall I say. We're getting there. We've got divisionals. It's 2 weeks. And then a break, so 4 weeks until the Super Bowl. Oh, wow. This is all just happening so fast. It's all happening so fast, but we're going to be covering it all. We're going to be trying to get it out there as soon as we can. Plenty more to come. Friday morning, we're going to be recapping, seeing what the Canucks have been up to. And, of course, any other news around the NFL, like if Belichick is going to go in to Dallas, because if he does, or if Mike McCarthy's out, we're going to be talking about that all day long because I'm excited to see what that is. Because I think Mike is out. I think he's out. Belichick, I don't even know, man. That would be amazing. How cool would that be? Everybody wants it to happen now, I feel like. Everybody's already talking about it. We've been talking about it since halftime. Sorry, Dak. Sorry, Mike. I don't want to call for anyone's jobs, but this is just the reality, okay? This is just what happens in the NFL more than anywhere. So all that coming up on the No Show Sportscast. We're going to be covering it all.